So the last question is a very, very tricky and interesting question on time and distance. So what is happening here is you have Satya and Nitya, two people running in opposite directions. So let's say this is Nitya and this is Satya. Satya's traveling speed is 5 meters per second. Nitya's traveling speed is 4 meters per second, and the total distance is 720 meters. Now clearly they will meet. This is the starting point. Let's call it as X. So they will meet at a point called Y. But once they meet, the direction is also changing and the speed is also changing. So Nitya runs back with the speed of 5. Satya runs back with the speed of 4. Now, if you want to calculate when will they meet again at the starting point X, the first time they will meet again at the starting point X. Normally, when there is no such exchange, the formula is given by LCM by length of the track. So that is speed. I will just change this. Sorry, the LCM of time taken by the first person to finish the circle and time taken by the second person to finish the circle, which is nothing but LCM of length of the track by speed of the first person and length of the track by speed of the second person. This is the formula. We all know this. But here, speeds and directions are exchanging. How will that affect my formula? And the trick to this question is it does not affect your formula, because if one person, let's not name the person, let's call one person running in the clockwise direction. This person's speed is 5. While n is changing the direction, can you say it is as good as the same person continuing the circle? Because the time taken by this guy whose 5 meters per second is the speed, if I say this person is continuously running, he will reach point X at the same time that n will now reach X. Similarly, if I say there is a person running in the counterclockwise direction at a speed 4, he will reach this point X at the same time where Satya will go back and reach the point X. So if I take the scenario where there are two people running without exchange of speeds and directions, then the time taken by the first person to come back to X and the time taken by the second person to come back to X does not get affected by this interchange. Because you can see that if n runs back, it is as good as Satya continuing with the speed of 5. Because for me, only the time matters. It doesn't matter who is coming to the point X. Is one person coming at time T1? Is a second person coming at time T2? That's all matters to me as far as my LCM is concerned. Hence, you will see that while the people are different, the time will still remain the same. So the meeting point will be LCM of 720 by speed of the first person is 5 and speed of the second person is 4. So this will be LCM of fractions. LCM of fractions is LCM of numerator by HCF of denominator. So it will take 720 seconds for them to meet for the first time. Now we need to ask, how much distance have they traveled? Because the question says how much distance did Satya cover before they meet for the first time at the starting point. Now, what is the distance that this Satya has to travel? If you need to understand that, let us take a look at what is the total distance traveled in the first meeting point. So I have 720, or what is the time taken for first meeting point, not at the starting. So at point Y. So 720 by the time taken is they are both running in the opposite direction. So 5 plus 4. So this is 9. So 720 by 9 is 9. So 80. So 80 seconds is what they will take for the first meeting. If one meeting point they will take, so Y they will meet in 80 seconds. The next time they will meet, so starting from here, they will meet somewhere over here. Let's call it as Z. Again, they will take the same 80 seconds, sorry. Third time they will meet, again they'll take 80 seconds. So like that, they'll keep meeting. How many meeting points will it take for them to come back and meet at the point X? So totally that is happening after 720. And there are 80-second intervals of meetings everywhere. So 720 by 80 gives you 9. So they will meet at the starting point X when they are actually meeting for the 9th time. So this is the first meeting point, Z, first meeting point. Then probably they'll meet here, second meeting point. Then probably they'll meet here, third meeting point. So like that, when they continue this, somewhere they will meet together at the point X. That will be the 9th meeting point. So this is the first thing you need to establish, that they will meet 9 times and the 9th time is on the starting point. Once you understand this, the second thing you need to understand is by the time. So if you talk from X to Y and Y to Z, this distance traveled. So look at it, N and S. Now, N is running with speed 4, S will be running with speed 5, but the remaining Y to Z, second meeting point, this is 5 and this is 4. So if I take meeting point 1 and meeting point 2 together, basically the total distance traveled by N and S will be equal. Whatever is here will also be here. Because for the first circle, their ratio is 4:5. The second circle, the ratio is 5:4. So while this is distance of Satya in the first round is greater, the distance of Nitya in the second round will be greater and total will be the same. So out of the 9 meeting points, 8 meeting points total, which means 8 circles, when you take, they will be covering equal distances. So 8 circles means 8 into 720. And each person will be having the same distance. So 8 into 720 is the total distance, by 2 will be for each person. So this is 4 into 720. So 4 into 720. Now, again, 8 meeting points means after 8. So when you finish the 8th meeting point, Satya will get back his speed, Nitya will get back his speed. Because remember, when this is the first meeting point. Odd meeting point, Nitya is 5, Satya is 4. Second meeting point, Nitya gets back his speed and Satya gets back his speed. So every even meeting point, they will get back their own speeds, original speeds. So when the 9th round starts, Satya will be running at 5, Nitya will be running at 4. So they are saying Satya covers how much by the time that 720 seconds are up. So this is already covered. So this is 40, 4 to the 8, 7 4 to 28 plus. Now last round 720. How much will Satya cover in this? So 720 by 9 into 5. This will be the distance covered by Satya. So 980. So 8 5s are 400. So another 400. So 3280. So the total distance traveled by Satya will be 3280. This is a very tricky question. I would actually call this as hard, because if you get the concept, firstly you need to understand that the time doesn't matter. Once you understand this, the second thing you need to understand is how to calculate the total distance. That the idea should strike to you that every 2 rounds, the total distance becomes the same for both, which means it's only the 8th round distance that you have to calculate and then add it to 4 rounds plus the part of 9th round. That will be the total distance traveled by Satya, right?